In this video, we're going to be talking about how to build strong foundational beliefs, so stay tuned. I'll be your light. Be your light.
If you're new here, I'm Tia.
And I'm Leah.
And we are the Manifestation Sisters.
Here on this channel, we talk everything mindset and manifestation. We're here to help you rise and reach your truest potential and simplify manifestation.
Before we jump in, guys, we did just want to let you know and remind you that the doors to our brand new Limitless Manifestor monthly membership have just opened. So if you're interested in joining myself and Leah and other like-minded manifestors in a community where you're going to get access to tools, resources and us as coaches on a monthly, weekly basis, you can do that by joining with the link in the description box below. Let's jump in.
So when it comes to building strong foundational beliefs, it's really important to get self-inquisitive. And what do I mean by this? I mean by looking at any opposing thoughts and stories you have to why you can't have the things that you want. So get clear with yourself, get out a notebook and a pen and write down, why do I think I don't have the things that I want? And that's a really important question to ask yourself. When you look at your circumstances, when you look at your reality, when you think about yourself and how you view yourself, because we know our self-concept is based on how we think, feel and believe about ourselves, how we view ourselves and how we view ourselves in relation to the thing we're trying to manifest. You don't have the relationship you want with SP right now, or if you don't have the money, when you're having situations come up in your 3D reality and you're looking at your 3D, what stories and assumptions are you attaching to not having the things that you want? And it's like, say for example, you're not getting the commitment from your SP, or you've been ghosted, or there's a third party, or you keep getting money in and money isn't lasting, or you don't have enough money. When you look at those things, what do you feel like it means about yourself? Like, what meanings are you attaching to things essentially? So it all ties into our foundational beliefs. It all ties into what we believe about ourselves, how we think others view us in relation to a specific person, or how we view ourselves in relation to money, never having enough money, there's always more month than money, whatever stories are coming up. So when you're looking at those situations, what are you making those things mean about you? Like, you're not good enough, you're not worthy, you don't deserve to have the things that you want, you never get the things that you want. So all those stories tie in together with the questions that I've just said about. So get clear with yourself and write those questions down and really get clear about all those limiting beliefs that are coming up, because they're the stories that are running in the background when you're not noticing it, when you're going about your day, or a situation pops up and you play these stories and you allow those stories to be your truth essentially, when they're not true. They're just a byproduct of your outdated belief system that you picked up in childhood, or experiences that you've had that essentially aren't yours. So you really have to get clear on what those are and shine a light on them so you can change them.
Exactly, and that is perfectly said. In order to change these beliefs, we need to get conscious of them. And the reason why it's important to get conscious of them is because you will stop re-identifying with them. That is what is essentially creating your reality. We have our belief system, and the more that we create from that belief system, like we said in our previous video of triggers and patterns, that pattern comes up, you re-identify with it because it's happening in your 3D circumstance, and it's like a cycle of, this is who I am, this is what I'm creating for myself, this is who I am, this is what I'm creating for myself. So we essentially want to disrupt that pattern by acknowledging the core beliefs and changing them so they're favourable. Your current beliefs are not yours, everything that Leah just said. They were a byproduct of being a sponge and picking up all the core beliefs of your main caregivers or parents around you, and essentially that is now what is creating your reality. So we need to get really conscious with it, because you want to stop re-identifying with the core beliefs that are creating your unfavourable circumstances, because essentially when you get conscious of those, then you have the power to change them by taking your power back and thinking to yourself, if I'm creating this, then I am also the solution to this. And what is it that I would rather want to create for myself? Once you've got conscious of them and you realise that you keep identifying with the stories of, I don't have enough money, that person's chose that over me, so that means I'm not chosen. Think to yourself, what is it I want to experience? Change them core beliefs, change them so that in alignment with the life that you want to experience for yourself. And you do this by doing first the practice that Leah just spoke about, and then flipping them into making them that they align with the life that you want to create for yourself. And the key here is, once you've acknowledged this old story and once you've changed it into something that's favourable for yourself, we want to persist with the new story despite 3D evidence, despite things going on in our current reality. We always want to recenter ourselves back into our new self-concept, our new story, and persist.
Yeah, because as we keep identifying with the new story, that has no choice but to start being who we now identify with. Because it's always about our beliefs, it's always about the assumptions and the stories we're holding in relation to ourselves, in relation to the thing. So you have to get clear on what those beliefs are around love, relationships, money, your specific person, your career, your business, whatever stories you're having about these things and why you don't have it. That's going to be your core stuff. That's going to really help you to identify what needs to be changed, and you can change it because you can do it. These things are not set in stone. You can decide to have a new identity at any point in your life, any moment. You can decide to be a new person, and that comes from creating new beliefs, new assumptions, and having new thoughts around your current circumstances and the situation, knowing that they're not permanent and you can change any story, you can change any beliefs. You just have to be the source. You just have to be the person that bets on themselves and is like, no, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm not going to keep creating this for myself. I now decide I'm this person. I now decide I get this. I now decide I win at life. I now decide I'm a winner, essentially, having the winner mindset, having a mindset of someone that knows they get everything they want because they deserve it, they're worthy, and they're good enough to have it. So persist in the new story, persist in your end goal of you being the person that has what you want, in the beautiful relationship, in the great career, has the money, someone who is confident, someone that knows their worth and value, whatever that looks like for yourself, and persist in that story, and that has no choice but to become who you are and then be reflected back to you in your 3D reality.
And don't forget, guys, there will be times when you're creating these strong beliefs, and we get this question time and time again of, okay, so I'm doing my self-concept, I'm showing up as this version of me, I'm aligning to these assumptions, these thought patterns and this programming, but I'm still getting things in my 3D that are making me question who I am, and basically I'm making this mean that fill in the blank about myself. And that is the time where you have a choice and a decision to either re-identify with your old self-concept, your old programming, but despite what you're observing in your 3D reality, then choose who you are becoming, what you are aligning to, and what you are manifesting in your life. Because there will be times when you're doing this work and you will get evidence maybe from your SB or your bank account or your career that is like, okay, this isn't in alignment with what I'm creating for myself. And you may not feel it at first, you may not feel like you're this person, but you have the conscious awareness at the back of your mind of, this is the person I want to be and this is the decision that I'm making. Although it doesn't feel like I'm this person yet, I know that if I show up as this person now and I think from the version of me that has this thing, what the thinking that I would be making in this current moment. And that's what you're doing with this work. Although you might feel like you're not that person now that has the core belief, that has the thinking, and you feel like, okay, I'm being delusional, you are making a conscious choice. You are making a conscious decision to, how would that version of me think? How would this version of me feel? How would this version of me respond to that situation, this situation right now happening? And the more you do that, that's you programming yourself to be that version of you. So don't get disheartened by your 3D reality. Don't get disheartened when things come up in your current reality, or if you currently feel like you're not that person yet. That's what the work is. Every single person that has done this stuff, ourselves included, is aligning to that next version. But how you do that is by the choices that you're making today, and by deliberately, consciously choosing to align with that version of yourself, even if it doesn't feel like it yet.
Exactly, because it's normal not to believe in the new story at first because you have an outdated program that says the opposite. But like Tia says, as you keep persisting in the new story, new assumption, and showing up as that version of you every single day, and how that person goes and acts about their reality and how they think, feel and believe, and they're walking in reality as that person, now that starts to become normal and natural. And that's what it is with the belief. It's starting to normalize you being this person, so that starts to be who you start to identify with, and it starts to be ingrained, and your mind starts to accept it as your truth.
Exactly. You didn't know how to walk at first, you kept showing up for yourself and practicing walking. It's exactly the same as this. You don't know what it's like to be in a relationship, you don't know what it's like to have lots of money. You keep re-identifying with that version of yourself, consciously and deliberately. You start to tip the scale, you start to learn how to walk, you start to be wealthy, you start to be a person that feels and knows what it's like and thinks in a relationship. You identify as having. And that's what we're doing with this work. Start learning and consciously choosing to create core beliefs that are in alignment with that which you want to be. And on that note, with you building and creating core beliefs, we want you to know that the doors to our membership, the brand new Limitless Manifestor monthly membership, have just opened. And everything that we're speaking about in this video, building the core beliefs, showing up as that version of you now, having the support, the community, the tools, the reinforcement to reinforce your power and show up as that version, is everything in there. And the doors have opened, so if you did want to join, the link is in the description box below. As we always say, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, as it helps us grow the Manifestation Sisters community, and we'll see you in the next video.